where it starts to recede. You go through and carve out your angle. And do the same thing where you extend over in the same kind of guidelines. So from the corner of the mouth kind of through the cheek. Hopefully you're seeing. So kind of from the angle from the lip up to the cheek, we're going to create that line and pull every section. Since this is a shorter haircut, unlike the previous one, I actually keep pulling hair over even deeper than my initial part section, all the way over, just to help kind of create that shape. Then comes the most fun, creative part of the haircut, because before this is cut, you have lots of weight underneath it. She kind of has the curly hair people hate the triangle. But this is the part that for curl is awesome. We're going to do conceptual sections. We're not going to do inch-wide sections. We're not doing horizontal, vertical sections. It is you being an artist, eyeballing it and saying, that curl looks weak to me, I'm going to cut it out. So we're going to slide cut where I kind of notch a little bit, and you're going to go in several different directions. So you're going to kind of take some from underneath to help it kick out. You can do some that come down if you want to kind of push in certain directions. You work around the bottom perimeter in that fashion. So you just keep going through. A lot of times people right at the nape, where it angles up, it can be heavier. You can go through there a little more aggressively to kind of affect the shape. Or the other wonderful thing is people with curly hair, a lot of times they have that one section underneath that's curlier or straighter than everything else. You can get rid of that. You can carve into it to release the weight, curl better. You can go through and just really tailor it. The one effect, though, is you're going to get a very soft edge, which on curly hair is beautiful because you're not having a harsh, sharp line that doesn't necessarily look like it belongs. You have a very soft, delicate kind of line that goes through. If someone straightens their hair, you might need to advise the client. If you straighten it, let me know, because you may need to make some modifications to how that perimeter goes, that maybe go through and do a last kind of comb through to say that piece is really weak. They straighten it, they're going to think I missed something. But if you let them know that, I think they're fine. And I think that a lot of clients, if they have curly style that they can wear fairly consistently, they're going to love, and they're not going to feel the need to straighten it too much. So you go through and just kind of carve out the weight in those sections and just work your way through. And even just in her hair kind of sitting a little while, I see there's one spot here that I'm working on, just to kind of take out the weight. So if you kind of come out from underneath and work your way through this way, you're going to help it kick out a little bit. If you work your way down, it's the principle that short hairs pushing into long hairs gives you direction. So you can add direction to it. So if you want it to swing forward, you can go from a downward angle. And if you want spots like here maybe to kick out, you can kind of come up from underneath and work your way through. So for this style, there are a few ways you can go to do product-wise. Again, I started with thermal protect, just as a good base. Spritz that throughout, evenly distributing it through, working it through with my hands or with a comb. And then what I did was, again, I went through with the gel, the style gel, and with the gel conditioner, just to give it a nice hold to it. On curly hair, the great thing with that cocktail is that you can adjust it. So if someone has more coarser hair, drier hair, you adjust your ratio. Put a little bit more conditioner in of the gel conditioner and put in a little less of the style gel. And you can kind of tailor it. And then again, I diffused, trying to build up a little bit more weight here. And the cut does go just slightly off center, where you have a little bit more build up on the stronger side and kind of the weaker side. So when I diffused, I did build a little bit more weight through here. And then went through the curling iron in a very similar fashion, just to kind of spot curl, just in the spots where I felt like it's a little weak, just to kind of build up the shape a little bit. With the collection they have what they call their ease look which is this look, and then they also have a sheet look, which kind of takes it into like evening. For Abigail, what they did was there is one that's more structured curl, kind of like we have here. And then it's a subtle shift, but we have one that is just the curls are softened out a little bit. It's brushed up just a tiny bit, just to kind of give it that almost like 20 degrees kind of look, especially when you're having kind of this fadeaway going on in the very front. And to effect that, you just need a couple of tools. What I'm going to do to kind of soften the whole some of the product is to just spritz through a little bit of curl prep. And that's just going to kind of loosen some of the product up so I can kind of work through it. And what I'm going to do is just kind of lightly brush through. I don't want to go too heavy because I don't want to destroy some of the work I do with curls. And use my Bonacure, put a little metal one like this, so we can see. And use that in the very front while it's still slightly down from that, just to kind of put that wave in place. So that's going to hold that in place. Then everywhere else, the very top layer, I'm just going to gently brush out. But underneath, just with the edge of my comb, just kind of slightly kind of just feather it out. Just to kind of build up more of that wave. Just to kind of fill it out a little bit more.